Hey guys, Rob here from The Art of Wax, and today we're going to take a look at March 2021's Doom chart list. Believe me when I tell you, it is a masterpiece. My standard disclaimer applies here. If you're not already familiar with the Doom charts list or haven't checked out this month's list, please press pause on this video and go check it out. Once you've done so, come on back and let's talk about my top 4 and maybe your top 4 from the March 2021 Doom chart list. As always, let's start off by congratulating the band and album that took home top spot. This month it goes to Swedish stoner desert rock band Greenleaf and their album Echoes from a Mass. That makes 2 months in a row that a Swedish band has taken home top spot. Last month you might remember Spelljammer. Now that that's out of the way, let's take a look at my top 4 albums from the month. And like last month, it was damn hard to narrow down to 4. I do have 3 honorable mentions that I'll touch on after I go through the top 4. And some of those honorable mentions are albums I actually purchased already that didn't quite make it into my top 4, but definitely deserve to be talked about. Starting at the top of the list and working our way down, we'll go with number 19, Distant Planets by Wild Fuzz Trip. This brilliant heavy psych album caught my attention mid-month, and I knew I would run into it again when the Doom charts were released. That said, I did expect to see it a bit lower on the list than number 19, but maybe that's next month. Hailing from Spain, this is the band's 7th release. Although only currently available digitally, a vinyl release is coming. If you want to stay informed, head on over to the band's Bandcamp page and click follow. Alright, let's jump all the way down to number 7 for the next release on my top 4. This is 1782's From the Graveyard. Yes, I am one of the guys who slept on 1782's last album. I thoroughly enjoyed it when I saw it pop up on the Doom charts last year. And I did have it on my want list, but I never fully pulled the trigger. The minute I listened to this album, I not only bought it, but I went back and I bought their original album. That Cosmic Order couldn't get here fast enough. There's just something about Doom bands out of Italy. Their music always seems a bit more haunting, a bit more ghostly. It has that kind of funeral doom vibe to it quite often. When you hear doom metal out of Italy for the first time, you can understand or see that that's maybe where this genre came from. They do it right. So big fan. And if you haven't already, please check these guys out. You can pick up their album on vinyl. It's available from Heavy Psych Sounds. You can get it from Cosmic like I did out of Germany. Or of course the Cosmic Peddler in the United States. Number 5, we have Clouds Taste Satanic, their cloud covered album. These dudes out of New York made the most out of the COVID lockdown period, pumping out their Satanic single series, a bunch of cover songs done in their own unique style. I'm not a singles guy. I'm way too lazy to keep flipping after a single song, so I was super stoked to see they were bringing out a full-length LP. It's here and it's fucking brilliant. If you haven't already, please check these guys out. This album is available still on their Bandcamp page, but I will tell you, copies are limited. Finally, in the number 3 spot, we have Greece native Acid Mammoth. This is their 3rd album, Caravan, and it is a thing of beauty. I love this band so much that before I heard a single note on this album, I snapped up a copy of it in a pre-order, along with their self-titled debut, which is available on vinyl for the first time. To paraphrase Robert Lucas's quote on the Doom charts listing, Acid Mammoth gives you these crushing, fuzzy, Sabbath-like riffs, gigantic bass throwing everything out of the way, and drums that have this supernatural or anguished darkness to them. I don't think I can explain it any better than that, and if you're not intrigued, I don't know what I can do for you. Up next, we have the Honourable Mentions. These are albums that really fucking did it for me, but didn't quite crack my top 4 for this month. Funny enough, at least 2 of these albums I've already purchased. So that says a lot about this month's list. First up, we're going to start with a band that I'll probably butcher their name. I'm not sure if it's Eutanasia or Euthanasia. Their album is Cosmonauta. They are out of Chile. This is a standout album for me, mostly because it sounded nothing like anything else I heard on the list this month. They have more of a 70s hard rock vibe, but they really do bring in aspects of psych and doom. But if you haven't already checked these dudes out, they will blow you away. Right now, their album is only available digitally, but a CD copy is on the way. Up next, we have Yawning Sun's Sky Island. This one slipped out of my radar. I didn't even know it was coming. I'm a huge Yawning Man fan and a huge fan of Sons of Alpha Centauri. So when they come together to make Yawning Suns, I hope I would know about it, and I definitely wanted to fucking own it. This is their 2nd collaboration as Yawning Suns, and although it's a mellower jam than most of the albums you'll hear on this month's Doom chart list, it's definitely worth your time and worth a listen. I bought this one on vinyl last month the minute I heard it was dropping. Again, I'm a fan of both of these bands, and it has not left my turntable since it arrived. Finally, last up in the honorable mentions, we have Cosmic Reaper and their self-titled album. These guys hail from the United States, and they're on Heavy Psych Sounds. This is another album that after the very first listen, I added to my cart. I always have a Cosmic Artifacts wish list and cart going, so when I saw that, I pulled the trigger on it. Cosmic Reaper has this melodic and slow crawl to their music. It's a sound that I fucking really love. It's just moody and dark, but at the same time you can just kick back and relax to it. It's got a mellow vibe. Heavy Psych Sounds is just nailing shit right now. The bands they're putting out, the bands and albums they're working with are just stellar, and Cosmic Reaper is yet another example of this. To wrap things up this month, let's take a look at the Doom Charts World Order. The US jumps back into first place this month after finishing in second behind Sweden last month. As fates would have it, Sweden has slipped to second in March, with Greece in third, followed by Norway in fourth. This is Norway's first appearance on the Doom Charts list in 2021. And lastly, the UK just ekes into the top 5. The overall standings look kind of similar, with the US holding the overall lead, Sweden in second place, and the UK in third. It's pretty quiet on the Canadian side of things for March, but OLDE out of Toronto continues to make their mark. This is their second month in a row making the list. This time they jumped all the way from 26th place in February all the way up to 14th in March. That's a pretty impressive climb for a great album. If you haven't already, please check out OLDE out of Toronto. That's it. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Let's do it again next month.